Hey guys, Adam here, and today we're looking at my favorite way to find perfect fit clients on LinkedIn in 2025, and that is to filter by psychology, not just demographics. So typically when we're searching for someone on LinkedIn, we'll use something like Sales Navigator or search. We'll type in their job title, their company size, location, industry, those sorts of information to try and find that ideal customer. Now that's great because it does matter that they're the right person with enough authority and maybe buying power to purchase our service, whether that's, coaches, consultants, or service providers. But that doesn't necessarily tell us how someone thinks, right? And there's a VP of sales that has a fixed mindset that is, just very focused on the things that they're doing, is not going to necessarily be the ideal customer for a coach that is interested in massive transformation. Whereas a VP of sales that is interested in, personal growth and personal development and is open to, different ideas around that transformation, that might be a better fit. So how can we filter for that psychology? And that's what we're looking at today. My favorite way to do that is actually to find followers of influencers. And so on LinkedIn, you don't even have to have Sales Navigator. You can actually filter by the followers of a specific influencer. And so here's a couple of examples. So let's say someone is following Tony Robbins. Well, they're probably interested in personal growth. Maybe they have a growth mindset. Maybe they are just open to large transformations and, interested in changing their lives, shaking things up. Someone who's following James Clear might be very interested in systems and habits. Someone who is following Seth Godin probably thinks differently about marketing and is open to different ways of marketing or thinking about marketing. So if you are a service provider in one of these specific areas, trying to filter by someone who has already raised their hand to say that they're interested in the way that Seth Godin thinks about marketing means that you're already going to have a much better alignment rather than just saying, someone who happens to be in marketing. It's like we want, yes, someone in marketing, but we want someone who's in marketing and has the psychology of someone who would be interested in this type of alternative way of thinking. So my favorite way to do that, and that's what we're actually going to look at, is on LinkedIn. So how do you go about filtering for this? Well, one, what I'll do is, let's say I'm searching for a VP of sales. So I will go ahead and search for the job title. Or if there's some other specific title that you're looking for, all you do is plug that in here. We'll search by people. So it's going to start to grab VP of sales. But again, this is just all the VP of sales. It doesn't give that additional psychographic segmentation. We'll go to all filters, scroll down here, and then you can do followers of. So let's say I did want to do Tony Robbins because I want VP of sales that have the growth mindset, that they're interested in some sort of large transformation. And if there's any other specific, location-based filters that you want to have, you can add those here. Or if there's any past companies, schools, there's a few other filters that you can put in here as well. And we'll go like that, show some results. Okay, so there you have it. These are all the VP of sales in the United States that are also following Tony Robbins. And the best part of this is not only have they raised their hand to say psychologically they're more inclined to, follow this type of mindset, but also it gives you something to reach out, like a talking point when you reach out to them to say like, hey, I noticed that you follow Tony Robbins. Me too. One of my favorite things is this. Curious what resonates with you about him and the transformations that he provides. So that is the LinkedIn tip of the day. We're just looking at how do you filter by influencers in order to get that psychographics. All right. Have a good one. And we'll check in tomorrow.